Welcome back. Well, smoke from wildfires burning in western Canada is making a return to the U.S. with air quality alerts issued for communities in the upper Midwest to start the weekend. That includes possibly in and around Chicago.
Seems like we're used to it at this point. Here to talk more about it is Steve Bender with Fox Weather. Steve, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it, sir.
Hey, Tia, Anthony, thank you for having me here. I know it's something you don't want to have to get used to, right? That smoke. But again, it's Canada. This is where it's coming in from. So this is not the United States where we're seeing any wildfires. It's in really Calgary and Edmonton. You'll notice the flow coming in out of the northwest. So that's going to bring that smoke into the northern tier, the upper Midwest. Impacts are already being felt in the Dakotas, Big Sky Country, unhealthy air quality. In all of these locations, you'll see in Burke County, they are into that an unhealthy level. And so I know the question there for Chicago, are we going to experience that type of air quality? Notice Illinois is left out of that air quality alert, but still Minneapolis, Green Bay, and Wisconsin, you have the UP in this. 37 million people are going to be impacted by this. And when we bring out the smoke tracker, Tia and Anthony, we know it's going to be the big events that get people outside, right? So we have the Cubs, they're taking on, the Red Sox at Wrigley Field all weekend long. That's going to be a concern as you push into Wednesday or Saturday afternoon into Sunday. Here, as we zoom in, it's not the only festival, right? Another great one is the Windy City Smokeout. Country Music Festival, whether you're a country fan or not, it may be the Windy City Smokeout in general because of this, right? Aptly named, they got that music festival. Here's the one thing I wanted to point out for you all, though. This is working in your favor. Obviously, you're on the southern shores of Lake Michigan. This is the winds aloft, bringing in that smoke from thousands of miles away. In your benefit, you have that lakeshore breeze creating that gap right in there. So clear air quality still persisting along the shore there in downtown Chicago as well. Hopefully for the United Center where they're doing the Windy City Smokeout. You got Zach Brown Band, Luke Bryan, Zach Bryan, all of them. But then you'll notice by Sunday afternoon, though, that smoke does start to lock back in over Chicago.
I know that the smoke will possibly, come into our area, Steve, but can you talk a little bit about the fact that they've been talking about, people that have pre-existing conditions, what they need to do to prepare for something like this?
Yeah, so it looks like for Chicago, it's going to be unhealthy for sensitive groups. So you're thinking people with respiratory problems, or if you have heart problems, really conditions, I should say, not problems, conditions, because this really puts a strain on your respiratory system. So what you can do is if you're looking at going to one of those outdoor venues, kind of limit your time outside. If not, I mean, if this is going to be a music festival, you're going to be out there for hours, you want to wear an N95 mask. That has that filter that it can block the PM 2.5. That's that particulate matter that carries the ash from the smoke and wildfires in Canada. And when we look at this, this is a problem, Tia and Anthony, that we could be looking at through the entire summer, because overall, this is where you have the bulk of those fires in Western Canada, over 22.5 million acres burned. So anytime the wind shifts out of the northwest, this type of problem starts to set back up.
All right. Well, we'll be ready. Steve, thanks for the tips and local insight. He's absolutely right. It's the Windy City Smokeout, regardless of whether you even go to that festival.
Thanks for being with us.
We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me.
All right, let's switch gears and talk to our very own meteorologist, Emily Walsh. She's been tracking this smoke as well. Emily, how bad will it be?
Well, it's not going to be a repeat of what we saw 2 weeks ago. I'm not expecting that. But as you were just hearing, it is going to be enough to trigger those air quality alerts in northwest Indiana. And I really wouldn't be surprised if we're added to that across northeastern Illinois as well. So we were just mentioning and hearing about how once those winds shift to be out of the northwest, that's when we start to see that smoke building in. So I'm going to start the clock here Saturday morning. We have a cold front that's going to be sinking to the south. Behind that cold front, that's when you have those northwesterly winds bringing in that smoky air for us to work with. So that's why we're going to be seeing that arriving Saturday night and then into our day on Sunday too. Again, I don't think this is going to be a repeat of what we had 2 weeks ago, but for sensitive groups, this is certainly going to be bothersome. So temperatures out there right now, it is hot, it is humid. A lot of us are in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees. We have a lot of heat, a lot of humidity to work with to fuel our storms this evening. Dew point temperatures are in the 60s and 70s. So I'm sure for a lot of you, you're you're looking for a cool down. We do get a little bit cooler as we go into this upcoming weekend, but it is still going to be warm and a little muggy. Futurecast, we're going to time these storms out for you. So we do have some severe storms in eastern Iowa. I expect those stronger storms to arrive into our west suburbs around 8 or 9 p.m. That's going to continue to track across the area by about 10 p.m. We should be seeing that moving through the city and the south suburbs and then into northwest Indiana right around the midnight hour. After that, we're just stuck with rain chances as we go throughout this evening, maybe a rumble of thunder late tonight. But I think the strong stuff, that's going to be as we go throughout the early evening hours. 7-day forecast, we're in the mid 80s over the next few hours. On Monday, we're at partly cloudy conditions and temperatures much more comfortable near 79. Back to you.
Oh,